Well guys, it's once again time to jump back into Project Vanilla Ice, and this thing is turning out so much better than I thought it could, just using your basic stuff. I mean, we detailed the outside of this on the last video, and we use what you would probably have at any home garage. Normal soaps, normal conditioners, all that type of stuff. We didn't even get to the polishing stage. I decided to skip that because the paint is really far gone, and I just wanted to try to maintain what was there so the next owner can decide what they want to do with it. And I think it came out awesome. I mean, the top is coming out awesome. We're going to take this even a little bit further. I really want to polish out this back plastic here, but it is now clear, and we haven't even done the inside of this side yet, only this side and your side windows here. So I'm very, very happy with the way that this whole thing has turned out. We've done a ton of stuff to the actual engine to get it running right. We've messed around with the suspension. We've went ahead and bled the brakes. So we're just gonna keep moving along here, getting this car running the best we can, making it roadworthy, and most importantly, preserving what is there still. So on this video, what we're gonna do is dive right into the interior detailing, and we're gonna approach it the same way. We're gonna use just normal tools, stuff you can just buy from the store, maybe stuff you already have sitting around, but we're gonna make this thing look 1,000 times better. And you always wanna start with just pulling everything out, and we're gonna even pull these seats out. That I'm gonna show you guys how to do. So let's get set up and let's start on this. Oh, yes. Well, guys, it's time for a fill-in, and I could not be more satisfied with the results that we're getting here using basic products, basic tools. In fact, mostly everything is being done by hand. We didn't use a shampooer or extractor. We used a basic shop vac that cost me like 30 bucks I picked up a long time ago, and that's mainly to vacuum it out and get up some of the heavier water spots. Now, let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our door here that came out absolutely amazing. You guys might have noticed earlier in the video there were some rust spots that we were able to get out, and I realized that that had to be coming from under this door. So I went ahead and ground down the rust that was forming there, hit it with the rust dissolver just like we did the trunk. I didn't film that because it was kind of hard to get to, but that's what we did there. We went ahead and protected that so it doesn't continue on. Now, moving on to the products that we used. Super Clean is a sponsor of the channel, but this product is phenomenal. They do have a bunch of different types of products. This is the wheel cleaner, a lot less abrasive than their basic foaming, which I really love for deep cleaning carpets. The foaming is great on carpets, but do not use this stuff on leather or plastics and stuff like that, because you got to be very cautious. When I did use it, you notice that I really saturated it down with either water or this interior detailer here from Meguiar's, and we'll talk about that in a second. And I lightly hit it with the aerosol can here. Once again, a little less abrasive than their basic foaming or their engine degreaser. Those are the ones you have to be really, really cautious using on anything. I'd say test it on any product. Usually you're good on carpets and metals and stuff like that, but you got to make sure you test out a spot. This right here, I had never used before, and I hate it. It really just seems like water they put in here that smells good, and that's all I was getting from it. So I kind of used it as a base for putting any of this on there. And then we also picked up these brushes here. I got a set of 3, and I picked them up from the auto parts store. I've never used them before, and they are amazing for cleaning down seats, the interior parts. It allows you to kind of get into the crevices, as you guys saw, and then you just wipe it down and everything's good. So it worked really good using this here, because this foams up really nicely. Now, I had this already sitting around, and I figured I might as well try it out on the carpets, but in all honesty, it worked really good cleaning down some of these leather parts here, because of the cleaner that was in there was not that abrasive. I used it on the seats here, and we went ahead and coated the seats with this Leather Honey, another product that I had picked up in the past. Really liked it and had it sitting around, so I went ahead and used that. This stuff works amazing. You'll see here it looks very wet. That's because you want to put this on here. I'm going to leave it on for 24 hours as they suggest, and then you wipe it down, and it really softens up the leather. Another product that I really like to use that I'm out of and I'm going to pick up is this Ultimate Leather Detailer. I like to just spray this on at least once a week on door panels, on seats, even on your dash in these Mercedes. And this seems to work really good for cleaning it down. It doesn't leave a heavy film, but it does soften everything up over time. Coming in here, I just used this detailer here, which I said I was not happy with, but it worked out just to get some of the dust and dirt and grime. There wasn't a whole lot on this dash, and down in here, I kind of detailed that. We do want to try to figure out if we can get this replaced here. That's going to be our roll bar, because I don't know if that's working yet, so I'm going to try to work on that. We come back here. This came out really nice. And once again, we just used a heavy scrub brush, a little bit of the Super Clean in some spots where it was heavy, and then just soap, water, and then wiped it down with rags, and used the shop vac, since it's a wet dry shop vac, to get up any of the heavier areas. These are some of the parts that I found inside our glove box here, and I'm going to try to get those all put back in. This might be too far gone, but at least I can try to get it back in there so that it's not an opened area on the sun visor over here, as you can see. So moving on in, we got the carpets really nice in here. I've still got to finish off the back side of this carpet. As I moved the seat back, I realized I hadn't gotten that yet. And then the center console came out really nice. This cleaned down really nice, and I've got that Leather Honey on there as well. And so that's about where we're at on the interior. We did do the seats here, but I would love to recover these if we've got the funding to do it, or at least get some kind of seat cover on there. Really neat that these come out, because that makes that really easy. Most leather shops could probably do this pretty inexpensively. But I'm going to get online and see what we can find on these. I might be swapping those out. Stay tuned. Next, what we're going to do is I've got all of those engine component parts. I want to pull all those out, clean those down, and I got to see if I can get the AC working. I think it's something to do with the blower motor resistor. So let's jump on into that. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a
So I
bird's eye
completely forgot how
view.
much stuff actually has to come out to get to the blower motor.
You should grow feathers
It's
and
kind of
see
unbelievable.
this
And I think I might have taken
too.
off some stuff that doesn't need to come out, but I was looking at it.
When you
I wanted
want to
to
get
get
off the
I probably
darkest
should.
ground,
There was an insane amount of leaves under here. I'm gonna clean all
but
this out.
gravity pulls you
I actually gotta
straight
go back to my video.
down.
I cannot get this off. I've taken off every bolt nut that I can see. I've taken off a windshield wiper. I mean, it's just endless, and I've got to figure out if something's still holding it in. So I'm gonna get onto my video and see exactly what I'm missing here and try to get to this blower motor. If worst case, we can clean all this out. I've got all my parts over here. Unfortunately, like on any of these cars that are older and been in Florida, the plastic gets all brittle and a lot of these tabs were already broken. Same thing with my other 91, and it's just kind of the way that they built these, unfortunately, with little cheap plastic tabs that hold the screws in. So I'm gonna try to get everything back in the best I can. It should all go back in because nothing's majorly broken. These pieces over here I was just cleaning down, but all the tabs were already broken on that. They were just kind of resting in there. So I may try to glue them back in a little bit, but I'm not sure. But stay tuned. Hopefully I can get to this blower motor. If not, we'll get it all cleaned out and we'll move on to the next thing. So guys, I think Mercedes takes the cake for worst design ever. There are 3 bolts, and I knew they were down here, but I have so many leaves jam-packed down here, you can't see them. Not only that, they run wires that are wrapped down this that cover the bolts. So what you've got to do is take something down here, slide it down here, kind of bend it open, and then you got to move these wires and look for the bolt, and hopefully you can see it. I probably should get a light. I thought I had enough light here. All right, I finally see the one on the very end here. Hopefully my tool's gonna fit. No! And I just lost my socket. I'm gonna try to get each one of these bolts out. Not even undone. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Now I gotta find that socket so I can continue. I got one more over there and I'll pull this thing out. Let me show you the nightmare that I'm dealing with. So down in here, there was just an insane amount of leaves, and then you've got these wires that are wrapped running along, and you've got to pull the wires like in between each other in order to get anything down in there to get that bolt. You see the bolt right there? And so I've just had to slide down different extensions down in here and wiggle. You can't even see the other bolt. See how those wires are just wrapped around each other? Well, underneath that is one of the bolts I already got out. So I think I got them all out. Let me go ahead and pull this out. Just wanted to warn you guys, in case you decide to do this job, it is a nightmare. All right, so here we are, hours of pulling crap out. I got a battery hooked up. I want to test the fan just to see if it works. I've already got the positive touch to the fan directly, and let's go ahead and tap it. Ah, yes. Okay, so it's working, which typically means you have a bad resistor. Sometimes they just need to jump because there'll be humidity and moisture that gets in here. The drain hole is clogged up, so there's a possibility that water got in here, shorted it out. I'm gonna go through all the fuses and all that stuff, but the good thing is our fan is working, so we know that the fan's gonna work. I'm gonna now go ahead and try to run the car and run the AC, because we could have a bad head unit as well. So there's a couple other things that could be causing this, but my guess is a resistor, so I'll probably go ahead and order one of those since we got this all apart, get that put in before we put it back together. So let's kind of move on. Over here I've got just everything sitting around waiting to go back in. The motor is just completely tore apart on the back side here. I'm not motor, but the coverings of the motor here. And it's been a long day, so let me try to get all this back together, see what we can come up with, and hopefully we can get this AC working permanently. Well guys, unfortunately I could not find an affordable resistor online. The ones for this car are quite expensive and I need to get the car put back together. We are expecting rain and I didn't want to further any other damage to this engine since we've done so much work. But with that said, it feels so good to get this area really cleaned out. This is something I highly recommend you guys do out there if you have an older car that kind of sits outside like this one was. And now I've got all these beautiful parts to go back in. It's going to feel really good and all the drains are cleared out and working, and you can see right here on this bolt evidence that right behind this drain here, that one must have been clogged. And let me tell you, there was a ton of dirt and grime and just buildup from all the years of sitting outside in there. So it feels really good to get this done. It was much needed. Even though we weren't able to tackle the AC fully, we do kind of know now what we're looking at because the blower motor works. So we know we need to order a resistor. We don't need to order a blower motor, and we can go from there. It is a lot of work to take all this back out, but it's a lot easier the second round. So let me get everything put back together again. We'll go through the car once more and talk about what we're gonna do on the next video. Well guys, that about wraps up another video, and I am absolutely blown away with the progress we were able to make. I am so excited about this engine, the way it looks, all the parts I was able to find, clean them up, put it back together, and now it almost looks like a brand new engine bay. Of course, we've got to eventually look at putting a new liner in. That may come, but look at all these nice pieces. I was able to clean out all of the gutters up here, so everything's gonna drain out really nice. Everything's nice and clean. And I told you from the beginning, this is not the last time we're gonna be cleaning this engine bay. This time might be, but we're probably still gonna continue to detail it. There are a couple areas I still wanna get into and fully finish off, but what a complete turnaround from when we got this car. And I'll try to find some of the original photos and put them on there now so you can see what it used to look like. Now let's move over to the interior. Once again, absolutely blown away with the transformation we were able to do with just simple products. Basically our hands, maybe just a shop vac, a couple towels, and really just perseverance into wanting to see this car transform. Now, it's not perfect because the car itself needs some replacement parts, needs some more loving, but it is on its way, 90% there. The carpets look amazing. The seats look the best than they ever probably have in the last 15 years. You know, these cracks and stuff like that, there's nothing we can do about them for right now. Eventually, I would love to see if we can get some seat bases and swap them out like I talked about. The dash has been in great shape. This wood center console is in good shape, not perfect, but good enough shape for me. The mirror here does need to probably be replaced or at least fixed. I didn't want to go touching that because it's very brittle. But most other things were actually in very good shape. I love the way that this back area came out. I'm still gonna finish polishing this off. I'll do that off camera and I'll fill you guys in on the next video. And just look at how these doors came out, these door sills. I mean, absolutely amazing. They just shined right up. I hope you guys are blown away as I am because I am absolutely in love with this car. I am gonna have to probably sell it because we have other projects coming in. This was one that we were debating on using as a parts car, and now I just fall in love with it. It's starting to run really good. This car fully drivable. We just got to do an oil change and button up a few other things, and I can do a lot of that off camera, or I'll kind of skim through it in the next video. And finding these floor mats, another freaking hit. These are nice and cleaned up now. The reason why I did not put them in the car because they have that notorious shedding back here, and I don't want to get the carpets all nasty, so I got them out here drying. I'll probably shave all that off and we'll put them into the car. So once again, guys, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. Let me know in the comments what you think, anything you want to see on the next video, and anything you need help with. Oh, and go ahead and find me on Instagram. It's Pete's Carport on there. Send me your car. I love seeing your guys' projects, what you're doing, and if you need any help, feel free to reach out and I'll do my best to help you. Once again, guys, have an awesome day, a blessed week, and I'll catch you on the next video.